I just would like to start off too by thanking Brendan Gooley. Our entire staff has really enjoyed working with Brendan over the last couple of years, whether it be in Buffalo or in Rochester. His dedication to the game, his professionalism was very impressive, and I know Brendan's going to have a very bright future in the National Hockey League. And I think it reflects upon an excellent selection by Tim Murray and his staff.
So, Jason, I guess big picture, what did you want to accomplish with this deadline, and what do you think you did manage to accomplish?
Well, look, as all general managers talk, you want to try to improve your team. And we've talked a lot about, we have traded NHL players in the past for draft picks. We've always talked about not giving up high draft picks for rental players at where we're at right now. But when this situation came along with Brennan, a player that we felt fit into our mix from an age standpoint, a right-handed shot defenseman, a player that wants to play the style that we want to get to. We felt this was something that really added value to our team, hopefully improve our ability to get out of our own zone, get the pucks up to our forwards, and help our defense create some offense from the back end.
Jason, how much does it help? I mean, we don't know. We can assume what Gooley may become or what the number one pick may come.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what Montour is. How much does that go into a deal where he's 24, he's got term on his contract, you know what type of player he's going to be in the NHL, where the other two commodities are still unknowns?
Certainly, it's the balance that we're always trying to work here. We understand the long-term success of our organization. We have to develop young players within our organization and develop depth. But it's also where we have young players in the National Hockey League right now. We want to try to support them as much as possible. And we felt this was a move that helps our group right now, but also is someone who can grow and someone that still can develop into a better NHL player. Just like we've talked a lot this year about developing Rasmus Dahlin, developing Casey Middlestad. We've also focused in on developing a player like Sam Reinhart, and I think you're seeing it evident this year. We see the same thing with Brandon Montour. We see a young player who has established himself in the National Hockey League, but we still think there's more of a ceiling there to him.
There were clearly comments today from the players that they liked the deal. How much did you feel, like you say, helping the group now is an important message for you to send to your current team?
Well, I think it's always important. It's exciting when you get your players excited about the teammates that are coming into the organization. And to be honest, Mike, it was something that I underestimated this summer in bringing Jeff Skinner into the group, is that it wasn't a deal when he came into the group. It wasn't a situation about talking about futures or a prospect or something. He was a player that helped our group right now, and I know that got our players very excited. And why we felt good making this move is we certainly knew that we had to give up something in both Brendan and the pick to bring Brandon in, but it's something that helps our group right now, and like we said, this is something that continually brings on and help our group down the road. And, right shot defensemen, there's always a need for them, and for us to, and you never know when they're going to sort of come up in the market. You can talk about trade deadlines, drafts, so we wanted to be prepared, and we felt that this was a time that we really needed to step up.
Do you feel like you've done enough? Go ahead.
I'd say part of what you set up ahead of time was saying that you weren't looking to move those 3 first-round picks. In this case, with Brandon's talent, what stands out about him that made it so that you felt okay doing that?
Well, I think there's quite a few things, but like I said before, just the right shot ability, his skating ability to get up with the play, his ability to get out of his zone, whether it's a pass or to carry it out of the zone. And then to me, nowadays, with so much back checking, so much, it's so difficult to create offense off the rush. But here's a player that has the ability to get up with the rush to create opportunities. And I think you've seen it just with the addition of Rasmus Dahlin to our back end, improving our transition game. We're hopeful that Brandon can also help us in that area and just add another element to our back end.
Do you feel as though you've done enough to help this group make a playoff push?
I think you can. We're very happy with what we've done with moves. You're always looking to different things to try to help the group and help the team. We weren't getting the results the last couple of weeks that we wanted to, but we were impressed and happy with some of the things we were seeing behind the scenes, our practice habits, our interaction with our coaching staff, and everything. And I think that then carried over to the last couple of games where you saw finally the results against two excellent teams in both Washington and Tampa Bay. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult getting the playoffs, but that's what this league is all about. And people can talk about this week or the games that we have coming up here. The next month it's going to be extremely difficult. And as I said last week, this is the next challenge for our group here, is to find ways to win games in the second half of the season.
Does Montour still have to go through a physical and all that once you get him to Toronto? And I know he's
Yep.
getting in late also.
He's actually in Toronto right now. He's going to be going to the rink here, probably on his way to the rink here right now. He'll be watching the game, interacting with their teammates, and then our plan is to get him on the plane to Philadelphia and be ready to be in the lineup tomorrow against Philadelphia.
I guess I'm asking, a lot of people are asking me, why wouldn't he be in tonight?
It was simply just from a logistics standpoint of West Coast time. We didn't want to have him fly on a red eye and then be ready to play. We're trying to set him up for success with our organization right off the bat. And look, you talk to any player that's happened today or been traded today or yesterday, there's a little bit of a shock, and just to get things set up and then to get it from a logistics standpoint over to Toronto, coming all the way from Vancouver. We just thought the best spot to make him have a successful debut was tomorrow in Philadelphia. And I will also say, just for Brandon, you look at in talking with him yesterday, one of the things that he was just very excited about was coming home. Like, he's being so close to Buffalo, excited about our young players that we have here, and excited about the style of hockey we play.
Boyle has been pretty open about his frustration about not being in the lineup. I mean, how much did the situation in January just play into your decision that he had to be the defenseman who moved from that logjam?
Mike, I'd love to answer your question, but I can't answer it right now. I will certainly follow up with you.
Jason, how valuable do you think making the playoffs this year is for the development of this team moving forward?
It's imperative. It's very important for our group, but it's what all our players are striving for. It's why players work so hard in the off season. It's why they grind things out to the year so much. I know sometimes it doesn't come across in the game, and you're wondering why, and you're wondering why sometimes we're an inconsistent team, why we can't be more consistent from that standpoint. That's what we're striving to be. We're trying to improve, and we understand the importance of getting to the playoffs. And this is a great step right now where we're at, but no one's sitting in here saying, wow, this is great that we're playing in some games. Guys are hungry. And I think you've seen it after the games. After the losses, people are certainly disappointed. And we've tried to stay a little bit more even keel, but with a young group, there's certainly highs and lows. And been really impressed of how we've handled some adversity over the last couple of weeks with the response to the last couple of games. But now it's important that we put that together. It's very evident. We haven't won back-to-back games in a long time. And we have to understand that there's going to be highs and lows throughout this entire month. The more we can stay even keel and bring that consistent effort will eventually give us into hopefully the playoffs.
How much was that the motivation for this move to bring in Brandon?
Well, I think it's motivation to help our team right now because you want to get into the playoffs. And then like I said before, you're also looking at long term with this team and this organization. And that's why we felt good about making this move, because it solidified both things. Short term, helping our team get into the playoffs. Long term, helping this team grow.
Were you close on anything else specifically at forward at all?
Look, you're always having conversations throughout the league, and I think you saw, there's still very good value for rentals out there. And we always were into a lot of different things on trying to improve our team with players with term, such as Brandon. Didn't materialize at the forward position.
Some of Montour's evaluations are, depending on where you look, some are very positive, some don't look quite as well. Breaking it down, what goes into that evaluation for him, as far as you're concerned, in generating this deal?
Well, I think it's you look at it from so many different angles. We have our analytic department that we look at. We look at our scouting department, and then also too we bring in our coaches. Phil has a familiarity with this player. When he was in Nashville, they had a good playoff series against Anaheim there. So at least there's a familiarity from the coaching standpoint. You look at with our scouting staff, what they liked was just his sheer speed, his ability to get the puck out of the zone, his ability to get into the offense zone and create chances, and that's what we looked at a lot from our analytics standpoint, was just his ability to get the puck out of our zone and then create chances in the offensive zone.
So Anaheim struggles didn't affect how you looked at it.
Well, look, you have to take all that into consideration, but look, they're a team this year that hasn't met their expectations. And I think that's why they were looking to make adjustments. But we've watched Brandon from not only this year, but you're looking back from previous years, and even his success in the American Hockey League.